Hey, I'm Marty Schupak for Schupak Sports, and welcome to this T-ball clinic. The T-ball clinic today is going to be on fielding. We just did one on throwing. If you missed it, I'll put a link on at the end. And if this is your first time here, the way I work this is I hold up a drill, I describe it, I try to give you some tips throughout the mini clinic, and then and that's really it. I give you some recommendations, and I try to cover a lot for T-ball, baseball, and softball, in general, coaching youth sports. So let's get going with this right away. The first drill I want to mention right here, if you look at it, it's called the high bounce drill. Very simple. And a lot of these drills you could do at home or at the schoolyard. And they're effective if you really you do it. I guess I would say do it very loosely and make the goals achievable. Now in this drill, the way we work it, we take a one of those red rubber balls. When I was young, we used to call them Spaldings. I think they're still around. And you bounce it up in the air, and when you bounce it up, you yell out a number like one, two, or three, and the T-ball player or the young boy or girl, they have to wait till it bounces the number of that you yelled out. So if you yell out two, they have to wait till it bounces twice, then try to catch it. Now, you as a parent or coach, when you do this, if you, let's say you yell out three, when it bounces, yell out number one as the ball bounces, number two, and then they'll know they get the third one. Keep in mind, this picture is showing a player with a glove. I recommend, I'm a big proponent early in the T-ball season, you try to do different drills without gloves, and you use the soft covered T-ball balls that are safe or Incrediballs. You could use tennis balls too. I don't want players, and I do this for two reasons. I don't want them getting to be dependent on just using their glove. I want players, even at a young age, to get used to moving their feet. That's the first reason. The second reason is if you ever look at some of these T-ball gloves they sell at the big box stores, they'll sell a package with a glove and a mini bat. They'll call it official T-ball bat and glove. I don't know what an official T-ball bat and glove is or are. And if you look at those, you'll see the glove is really like a pancake glove. It's like impossible to really catch anything. So again, this is the high bounce drill. You're just going to bounce a ball. You could do it if you have a team. You could take a couple, divide into stations, do it in the parking lot, and you could do it at home. In the inner city, you could do it obviously at the schoolyard. And good drill. You want to make it achievable. And remember, at first, they don't have to catch the ball. What they could do is you just tell them to swipe at the ball and just make contact and get it off the surface where you're doing this drill. Okay? Make the goals achievable. Everything you do in T-ball. All right, that's the first drill. The second drill is a drill I call the turn drill. And the this is the setup. Whoops. Let me just redo that. I'm sorry. You have one or two players standing like about 10, 15, or 20 feet away from the coach. And the back is to the coach. He'll throw the ball, and the player will turn around when the coach says turn. Okay. So in this case, he's doing it to this player, and then this player will have a turn. And what you want to do is this. You want to throw ground balls in this drill. And again, I would try it without a glove. And the beauty of this drill is, depending upon the skill level of the player, when you yell turn, you could appropriately throw the ball according to the skill of the player. You could wait, you could do it quicker. It's a good drill. And in T-ball, you want to get players used to the idea of stopping the ball, not necessarily catching the ball. Okay. Again, I would do this turn drill barehanded with no gloves. And though this is showing a fly ball, you want to do it with ground balls, kind of like a reaction drill. It's a good drill when you have a number of stations. Okay, so that's the turn drill. Moving along. Okay, the next drill is something I would do with my kids, my three kids, individually in the backyard. Okay, I call it the dive ball drill. And it's similar to a different drill I do. What I do is I would take a soft covered ball or a tennis ball in a bucket, and I would throw it to one side or the other. And the goal of this drill is the player has to dive with his body and stop the ball, just like a hockey goalie or a soccer goalie. Again, the purpose of this drill is I want to get players used to moving their feet to the ball and not just reaching out with their glove hand. All right. I notice that when players get older, and I've said this before, when their parents buy them a $250, $350 glove, they think all they have to do is put out their hand with the glove and the ball will automatically go in it. It doesn't work like that. So this is the dive ball drill. And this is another drill. If you followed me, I did the goalie drill where I set up two cones with a bucket of balls and they go left and right quicker. This is a little bit slower, but kids love it. And you want to get a soft patch of grass. Obviously, you don't do it on a blacktop, but it's a fun drill that the kids really enjoy. And at this point, I'm just going to take a little break and just want to go over a few things. If you're involved with the T-ball, one of the things I learned is kids love to use props. And I urge you not to just go out and buy things, but I urge you to try to make things to work on with your own son and daughter. Because when you make it yourself, these are times that your kids will always remember. Let me just go over a few of the props. First of all, now this you could buy. This is when I was younger. It's called the Sketch, where you have a Velcro ball and it attaches to the Velcro paddle. The purpose of this is you want to give kids confidence, like on fly balls or even ground balls, and you teach them to get under it and they hold it up and the ball sticks. It's a good drill using this paddles with the Velcro. It'll give kids confidence. You can move from this to a glove. And what I like to do is I like to move from that with a soft covered ball, a tennis ball, not using glove with it. I just tell them make contact, and I'm telling them to do it with their glove hand. So that's one prop. Another prop I would recommend, I got in the habit every year, I'd go down to the big box stores, buy like 5 or 10 pounds of rags. Then I would wrap it around with masking tape. And this is what I call a rag ball. I would do soft toss drills. I would do some catching drills. And a game that I created, I took 2 gallons of empty milk cartons. And with my son, my 2 sons, my daughter, we would go in the backyard. And you just do this in 5 minutes and you have a catch and they hold it. It's just a different technique in place of a glove that kind of stimulates them. Now, if you do this, if you cut this down, you want to line the top with duct tape because it's very sharp. So that's another drill. Again, I'm using a rag ball. And when I did some rag ball drills, I started to put a strip of colored tape. Excuse me. When the kids are older, I would do the soft toss drill. And one of the drills you do, and you can't do it with T-ball, this is like an advanced tip. You toss two rag balls, and I'd yell either blue or white, and that's the one they have to focus and hit on. Okay? You have some creative drills to do when the kids are older, but when they're young, keep it simple. Another prop I use, now I made this. I took two pieces of plywood and I made circles and I stapled gloves, regular cotton gloves in the back, and I throw ground balls. And what this does is because it's flat, the kids have to field the ground balls with two hands. Okay, it's effective, and the last few years, I don't know if somebody took my idea. They actually sell something like this. So this is took a little bit of time to make. I was fortunate, and my family actually was in the lumber business, so I had time to do this. But the point is this: I want to emphasize to you to you have a choice. I don't care if you're worth $1,000 or $100 million. You could go out and buy any prop you want, $300 net. You could buy a $5,000 batting cage in your backyard. I've seen them with two machines. But you could also make things with your son and daughter. And the things that you make, the kids they'll never forget. It'll be lifelong memories. I'll give you an example. Myself, when I was young, I always wanted a basketball rim in my front yard. And I remember my dad, we did it economically where we took a piece of 4x4 wood and we made it like, I don't know, it was like 12 feet long. And every night he taught me I would treat it for the weather. And then we dug a hole uh, and we cut a piece of plywood. That was the backboard. But I remember we dug a hole and he taught me we tarred the bottom of the wood, put it in, he did the cement. Long story short, we had a basketball court in our front driveway that lasted, it seemed like forever, like 25, 30 years, and it was knocked down by a hurricane. But remember, try to make things with your son and daughter. I don't care what the sport is. And we're going to get back to like four more drills. I just want to point out, and I'll put a link for this. If you're involved with T-ball, consider my book, T-ball Skills and Drills. It goes through the history of T-ball. It has about 36 drills. You have a lot of different pictures, a lot of different throwing drills, hitting drills, different coaching philosophies. I also did this in the back. I use it as a resource too, where I have different organizations. There's T-Ball America there. I have Little League, American Amateur Baseball Congress, Babe Ruth, wherever you are in the country. Now, if you don't have the money, don't go out and buy it. If you do buy it, I appreciate it. You could go to your local library reference desk and ask them to get it for you. They won't be anxious to do it. They'll say they can't. I self-publish my books, but if you insist, they will go out and get it. So put this part of your library, T-ball skills and drills. All right, let's move on to the next drill. Now, this is a team drill that I did, and you're not going to do this the first practice of T-ball, okay? It's what I call the circle drill, and usually I save it for older kids, but I've done it with T-balls. Again, not early in the season, no gloves. And again, we're teaching not to reach. Use soft-covered balls or credit balls like this. You go out and buy them online. And what the rule is, you throw the ball, the players throw the ball. You can throw it to anyone in the circle except for the person next to them. Okay? And in T-ball, you want to insist that they don't have to catch the ball, just keep it in front of them. All right. Now, what happens is too, and the benefit is the players learn to keep their eye on the ball. And also they learn to follow instructions, which I find is very, very important in youth sports. Okay. When the kids are older, I've done this drill, 11 to 12-year-olds, and I make it a competition. I'll use two baseballs, or sometimes I'll break it up to two circles of 6 and have a competition. how many in a row they can make without an error. Good drill, fun drill. And if you're coaching, you'll find over the course of a year, the drills that are very popular, the kids will let you know that, okay? And you could reward the players in any sport that you do at the end. If they work hard, you could reward them with one of those drills that is very popular. Now, the next drill, it's a more of a philosophy type of a drill or cognitive reasoning. And a lot of times, kids in T-ball won't understand it, but we're teaching them baseball. And what I call this drill is run at the lead runner. What I'll do is I'll have a player here with a ball in his glove. I'll have two base runners. Another coach will instruct these base runners. Okay, for instance, they'll say, when the coach says go, both of you run back to second base and stay there. And on the go command, this player turns around. He has to quickly assess the situation, and he's supposed to run and take the lead runner. And that's what we're teaching them. You do this any number of ways. Sometimes on the go command, one will go one way, one will go the other way. And all I want is the player to turn around and run to the lead runner. We're teaching them what the lead runner is, okay? And a lot of times in T-ball, different situations come up where there are two players on one base. I've been in situations in T-balls. I've had a player, when I say go, he turns around, he looks at the situation, and his assessment is to stand there and just start crying. And I felt terrible. But, you have to really evaluate the kids. You can have all types of kids, all types of sensitivities, all types of skills and talents. When you're introducing a drill, you might want to put the more talented kids first in line. So again, a player's here near the pitcher's mound, two base runners, his back is to them. Another coach will instruct these base runners what to do. On the go command, the base runners will do their action. The player will turn around with the ball, and he'll have to run to the lead runner. Good drill. We're teaching them the game of baseball, and that's what we're there for. Okay, quickly, as we're running incredibly late on this, we have two more drills. This drill is the lead drill where our line play is up and they'll run out. T-ball, they're probably not going to catch it, and I'll lead them with a ball, and I instruct players to just touch the ball with the glove. Don't catch it. And your better players will try to catch it, but tell them don't catch it. Now, in this drill, you always want to have them run towards the sun, because when they're looking back, they're looking away from the sun. Okay? Again, you could do this without gloves. Actually, this drill, do it with gloves, soft cover balls. They just have to make contact with the glove and the ball, and they're not going to catch the ball. If you have a fairly talented team, you could spread out, have another coach down here with a bucket, and he does it going back, and they go to the end of the line. They'll get more repetition. This is the T-ball lead drill. The last drill is challenging in T-ball. Most teams won't be able to do this. It's the three-man relay drill. If you try this at the end of the year, you got to spread out these lines, okay? And what you do is you have a ball here. On the go command, he runs, picks it up, throws it to him. He turns and he throws it to this player. Then he throws it back and he throws it back here. Whoever gets the ball back to the front of the line gets a point. And skill-wise, you always want to teach the player in the middle. And by the way, after they go, you guys rotate positions. The player in the middle, you want to teach them to turn to the glove side. Kids in T-ball won't actually get that, so don't worry about that. When the players are older and you do this drill, make sure you teach them the concept of turning to the glove side. It's good fundamental baseball, good fundamental softball. Remember, when you're practicing, I like to keep my practices shorter rather than longer. Don't worry about development of your son or daughter. And I went over this last time. Kids develop different patterns. They they'll shoot up at different ages. I gave the example of David Robinson, the former NBA player. He shot up like another 6 inches when he went to the Navy. So I'm going to wrap it up. I would ask you, if you like this, please give me a thumbs up if you can. I encourage any comments. Please subscribe if you like this. If you like this format, I'm going to put a link for the book. I'm also going to put a link for a something you don't have to buy or anything. It's for a video, full-length video, one of my videos on baseball. I haven't decided which one, but it'll be there. So feel free to click that. And please subscribe. I'm dying to get more subscribers and, different channels. They do a great job. I want to keep increasing this. Share this with your parents, with your commissioners, and with your league, and with the whole organization. If you like it, send it to the head of the whole organization. With that, I'm going to close it out for Marty, Schupak, and Schupak Sports. I'll meet you at third base.